We're back. Mama checkup. I don't know why she's checking on me. It's only 2:20. Jeez, I think that's that late. All right, so where did I get left off at? Push rod angles. Okay, let's see what we got this time. So everything's on center. Case is on center in the proper location. The correct height or dimension on height is quite a bit taller than stock because we are limited by hitting right there. So if the cylinders were cut out like that, I could drop them down where they belong. Wouldn't be a problem. So right now we are pretty tall on our installed height. So we should, well, we're 6 inches plus this, which is probably another 5/8 or so. Looks like we're almost 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, that's close to 3/4. So we're 6 3/4 overall height right now, which is way tall. So that needs to go down. It's just a matter of how much can I bring it down. Hopefully get down to about 6 3/8 without cutting too much out of my cylinder spigot down there. But I'll have to see. I don't know. Nothing else, 6 1/2 inch should be workable. The overall motor height right now, obviously it's growing the more we do this. But right now we are, put that right there, we're 17 inches. Hard to, yeah, let me do this differently. I'm going to grab the end of the crank and go this way. So yeah, we're lower, about 17 1/2, so we're going to be 18 inches with the covers on it, and the nuts and all the crap. It's a pretty tall motor. So we were, what, 17 or 16 over on the Harley. I don't know if that dimension dumbass down there. Yeah, see we're at 16 here, stock. We were what, 17 or 18 that we just did? Oh yeah, we're over 17, so we're way more in stock height right now. We're way up there. So we need to get this down close to 0. We can get it. I'm never going to be able to put this in any kind of a frame. So we'll have to see. It's obviously going to have to drop down a lot from where it is. So we'll see. All right, so push rod alignment. So this is the wide space head. It's 2 3/16 on center, and this is 1 3/4 on center, I think they were. So they're a lot narrower. So obviously we're cutting the piss out of that. And this one's just as bad. And yeah, see they're way off. So like if I move these cylinders over, I can drop them down. I don't have to cut the cylinder away. The motor gets shorter like it needs to be, and everything gets better. But we have to offset it over. But this push rod angle is not going to get a lot better than what it is. It's still going to be bad. And let's just make sure this one's just the same, because I don't think it's a... Yeah, they're the same. Yeah, see they're bad on this cylinder too, because that just tells me they're not a rotational issue. They're both off quite a bit. So you can see the amount of angle. Yeah, we're easily a 10-degree angle off there. Might be, this one's probably more like 15-degree off. Now on that height, that's not going to make a bit of difference. It's just a matter of making the covers line up and seal. But when you put a big fat push rod cover through here going that way, you're going to basically be cutting all these fins off right here. That bolt hole, you'll be cutting into that bolt hole with a cover. So whatever the hell this hole was for, you ain't going to get used. And there's no kind of a motor mount on this bike either, this motor, and it needs to have one. So that will have to be figured out. Alright, so I don't like this case either. So like I said, this is 100% mock-up, and it's pretty damn accurate except for our height issue. And as these come down, the height issue, this misalignment is going to get worse, not better. So just a matter of figuring all that out. I like the way this case had the big flat bottom on it. Now the Evo is about this much more than the Ironhead for the bottom, so it doesn't need to be this low. So the Ironhead motor would be, it only sits about right here, so it doesn't have all this here. So that'd line up better with the case below it down here. You might actually almost catch that case at that point, but it'd still be below it. The motor mounts are fine. So we're right there. Now, what was our overall height? Now the height situation's pretty good. Our width. So in the oil filter, looks like it's just clear. Okay, this is our there. Okay. So you can see where the original cylinder location was right here and the cover's right next to it. So you can see how this is flush with that. So this can come down a little bit. We're at 1 inch. It doesn't need to be 1 inch. That can drop. So we can bring it down 1/8 of an inch. We could probably bring it down 1/4 of an inch. And that'll make the crank easier to figure out, because right now we're way the hell off. The crank's going to be an issue because we're using a Sportster pinion shaft here and a big twin flywheel on the other side. That is not a stock application. If anything, there's no stock crank that's going to work on this motor. So this is an Ironhead shaft, and you can see it's not even close to being lengthwise. This is supposed to be, this here is supposed to be flush with that surface. So this is definitely going to have to be a custom arrangement. Now I have a cure for that I don't think it's really going to be a problem, but it will require a custom flywheel to be done. So, but I can take a set of those and make it work. Well, Ultima, I'd have to cut the shaft out of here, but you can use a set of Ultima wheels that's cut out, because they're all one-piece flywheels. So you have to cut it off like a regular twin cam would be, or a later model Evo. Late model shovels, or not, yeah. 90 and later Evo cranks are all one piece, so you cut that off, put a snout in there. One of my mock-up motors up here I already dealt with. I already made a motor like that, so, but it can be done, and I have the shaft. It's the S&S Pro Stock drag race pinion shaft, and they're like this much longer in stock, so that takes care of any width issues I'm going to have on this motor. This one's not going to be a big problem. That big motor would be, I'm covered. I can compensate. Alright, so overall this one doesn't look too bad, but we got still major issues here. Now what I wonder is if I put the other case on there, what's it going to look like? What's going to happen again? Alright, see what we got on this time. We got to figure out which one of these cases we're going to use, because there's only two. There's only two lifter locations, this one or that one. So, or you go to a single cam. So now they got a level surface to work off of. Let's see things a lot better. Alright, I'm not sure if I'm in the right spot or not, but we should be close. So that's the difference in a Sportster case halves. We're stacking them up. You can see how much shorter this one is. A 1/4 inch down there, or about a 1/4 inch down there. So I think we're in the correct relationship. This hole looks like it's centered pretty close. If I had a stud I could drop in that hole, it probably do wonders for me. something to eyeball off of right to here, so. It's hard to tell, but I'm close. I think I'm close. Okay. So the advantage of this is I can see which one of these is better or worse. Okay, so there's our difference between the two. We can obviously see that the iron head is going to be worse than the Evo rubber mount piece of crap. So the alignment is worse, not better. You can see that plainly when you stack them up on top of each other. It's hard to tell that when you're doing them individually, but doing one on top of the other like this, where it's stacked, things become very obvious what's happening. Okay, this one here is not centered either because it's hitting the fins, so I'll just do that one. And this one's almost identical. On this one's actually going to help us a little bit because as I widen it, to be an offset toward the center of the V is going to help us a lot. So we're helping the intake a lot. It looks like the intake is our worst one. You can see how this one's further up the hole than this one. It's hitting harder on that cutout. So when you do this one here, you can definitely see how it's a better deal. Try to hold this one over here better. Yeah, these two are actually pretty close, but obviously they can't be because I'm way up. Obviously we're a lot closer there, but I don't think it's that big of a difference. Yeah. See, the difference is like from here to here. It's a ½ inch difference, but when you're ½ inch and you're 14 inches away, that's not a big difference. It's an improvement, but not massively improved. Now these ones here, you can see how the iron head is over further yet. So that's, like I said, this one drops down right here. So it's offset quite a bit. It's 1/4 inch at least over, if not 5/16. So obviously we're gaining. It's an improvement there. What we gain here, we lose on this one. So it's kind of a toss-up. You're not really helping one way or the other. Unless you offset these cylinders over, the alignment sucks on the push rods. But it's going to be way better if it was on a single cam motor. Because single cam motor is not even remotely close. It's a tune different on a single camera. So the next mock-up would be on a single cam case. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot worse than this. It's going to be pretty nasty looking. Nasty! Alright, we'll be back.